Together podcast. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Jeannie Perez, and I am the founder of You're Not Alone. It's an organization that supports mental illness and addiction, any type of addiction. And the way we support each individual is by providing free services. And the free services will include professional, whether it's therapy, counseling. We have tools and resources. We have ebooks. We have books. And we have advocates that will walk with these individuals throughout their journey to get them where they need to get to, meet them where they're at. With that being said, this podcast, Breaking the Silence Together, ties in with the organization because the reason why we started the podcast is to hopefully be able to reach a broader audience. Be able to hopefully someone's listening and it catches their ear, whether they're the individual that's going through the individual is going through the illness or the addiction. Maybe they know someone, and hopefully by listening to my podcast, they might get some tools and resources from it, or they might just be able to learn something different. Because in this cause of mental illness or an addiction, there's always something new to learn, whether it is to benefit them or just a scenario, a situation, a new outcome of how they're dealing with this illness. And I always say knowledge is power, so the more and more information we can get out there, I think it's a stronger chance of healing someone or just helping someone wrap their head around these different flags, red flags they might be seeing in someone else, but they really couldn't put it together. Or just saying, oh, maybe that'll help, let's try that out. Because most of the stuff that I share on my podcast, most of the time it's information that either I've done with my clients or either my clients have shared with me or other leaders that have organizations just like mine share with me so that I can go ahead and share it here live or on my podcast just to hopefully that it benefits someone, knowing that maybe this helps someone else, maybe they can try it out and it might help them. That's the reason for our podcast. We're showing up for you. We're not here for anything else. We are here to show up for anyone that's dealing or struggling with mental illness or an addiction. Hopefully shining a light on them on something that they can try or just giving them that push and that strength that they need to reach out for help. Because that is the first step, whether you're dealing with a mental illness or an addiction. The first step is to really come in tune with your problem and just reach out for help and start your journey on healing. With that being said, if you don't follow me, because if you are following me, I normally talk about whatever I'm going to talk in my podcast for either a whole day or a day ahead, just to get people in tune with a little bit of what I'm going to bring up, not all of it, because like I said, there is a lot of information to really share, but I can only put so much together to only do about 30 or 45 minutes. But if you need more information on the topic that I'm talking about today, or on mental illness or an addiction period, please reach out to us. We will get that information over to you. And if you don't know my website, it's www.you'renotalone.online. Please get on my site. There's tons of resources there, and there's ways that you can get a hold of us 24/7. With that being said, our topic today is, who am I without the pain? Reclaiming your identity after the survival. And what I mean by that topic is that when we're stuck in survival mode, whether it's a trauma, grief, an addiction, it kind of overtakes over us. And it just starts shaping us every day into this new mode. It's a new model where we're a whole different person. And it just starts shaping us every day as we're just sinking in that trauma, and we're sinking it in and we're keeping it into ourselves. Every day we're becoming this other person that we never realized that we're going through these changes because we're so deep in this trauma that we're dealing with. So we wind up being a whole different soul than we were before. And once we reach out and we get that help that we need, whether it's healing with a mental illness or, recovery with an addiction, that mode that you were put into every day to shape you into this other person that you were for so long, now that you're getting help, you're going to start fading away from that person that you became for so long, and you don't know how to be something else besides that, because that was the way of you being able to cope with what you were dealing with. That was your survival mode. That was your flight mode. And that was the way you survived. Being this other person, that was the only way you knew. And because of that, when we start healing in our process, things change for us. We no longer have to be that peacemaker or that overachiever, or the one that is always trying to bring the peace, or the one that all of a sudden became this quiet person when they were just so outspoken before, but all of a sudden now you're this quiet, you were this quiet person. You no longer have to be that. You no longer have to be that angry person, that for any little thing was snapping. So because you're fading away from those emotions and those actions that you were going through before, when you were holding this trauma in, and you were trying to survive because you didn't want to bring no one else into this world, what happened to you? You were keeping that inside. So your brain starts overflowing and your nervous system started reacting, so it turns you into this whole different person that you became, and you didn't know how to be anyone else but this other person to stay in survival mode. When healing, that starts fading away. And because of that, for a lot of us, it starts getting scary. Because we no longer are hiding, and that was our biggest thing, was to hide and become this other person, almost an actor on a daily basis, to just hide really what was bothering us every day. We no longer have to be so needy on others, because now we're starting to live our own life. We're healing. We no longer have to have all these bunch of excuses not wanting to do something, because now you want to do, you're healing. So all these changes, really, some people that are going through the healing process, or they're going through recovery, sometimes they almost stay stuck. Because they're scared. Because this change is coming around again that they don't know. They don't know. They're stuck. I have a client that brought this information to me, and she said, when I was there, because she already went through her recovery, she did her steps, but now she's just staying in tune, because you keep your plan and you stay consistent so that your healing can stay consistent and healthy. So she's there, but when she was in the beginning stages of her recovery, she said that she was stuck in between the old her that she got so used to being because that was the way she survived, and this new way that she feels though she likes and she wants to be, because now she's in recovery. But she was scared because she was so dependent before, and now she was getting ready to, she was doing things on her own. She was living life at her own terms. She was no longer needing to be high to be able to function every day. And she just said she didn't know who she was. She kept saying, who am I supposed to be? And I said to her, what do you mean you kept asking yourself, who are you supposed to be? And she said, I just kept asking myself that, who am I? She no longer remembered who she was supposed to be because she was in survival mode for so long. And so I asked her, I said, because she wasn't with us in those early stages. She came to us when she actually came out of the recovery facility that she was away for about 6 months. She came to us after that. And she said, I don't know. I just kept asking myself, who am I supposed to now be? Am I supposed to go back to the person that I was before the trauma happened, which I don't even remember how I was then? Or am I just supposed to find this new person and find my new way and just become that, where I feel happy and safe? And I said, so what did you figure out? I said, I would think that you don't have to. You're not obligated to become that person that you were before the trauma. You know, I would think that the healthy part of you would want a new journey, a new life, a new you. You know, start out things new. And do things that you never did before, you know, and figure out what makes you happy and what's making you feel safe. And she said, you know what, Jeannie, that's exactly what I said to myself. I said, you know, I can't remember who I was before, and I really don't want to be any of my old memories. I just want to start out new, with new memories and new happiness. And I said, wow, that's a strong statement. She said, yeah, well, that's just what I kept feeding myself. And that just gave me the strength every day to do a little more things that I've never done. She said, Sample is with the facility that she was at, took them out on a lot of stuff to do out in their own nature. And she said they had where they were doing kayaking and a bunch of other stuff out in the water. And she said she was always scared of water growing up. She knows that for a fact. And I said, so how did you do that? She said, well, I forced myself because I said to myself that I wanted to start out life new and I wanted to start in a new journey. I needed to try new things. And I said, well, did you kind of force yourself, or how did you feel when you was in the water? You know, because you always was so scared of it. She said, I was kind of nervous, but you know what? It actually felt really good. She said, I really felt like this energy. She said, I felt this happiness I've never felt before in my life, and if I did, I can't remember. She said, but when I was done with she said we were out there for like 4 hours, you know, doing different things, not just in the water. She said, but while we was in the water and I just started doing that, it's something I never did in my life, it felt like a new person. She said, I felt like almost like I was, like if I had wings, you know, and I said, wow, that must have felt really, really, really good and reassuring. I said, you must have felt really secure to feel that good. And she said, yeah, I really felt really safe. And I knew that if I felt safe doing it, then that's something that I would like to do going on. You know, start doing more things in the water, start really testing myself on things that I've never done before, things that I was scared of, so that I can become this new person and I can find myself and find out who I really want to be. And I just thought that was really great to share that with me and help me put it together so that I can share it on my podcast. And hopefully someone can understand what her purpose was in sharing that with me, was just to let anyone know that's listening that when you're in recovery or you're healing from a mental illness, things are going to be scary. They are going to feel shaky. They are going to feel different. And if you're anybody like her, like she said, that really can't remember what made her happy before the trauma because she was in trauma so long, and you're trying to figure out now what's going to make you happy. At the end of the day, what she really wants anyone to take from this sharing is that try things that you never tried before. Anything that you were scared to do before, try to do that. Try to make that part of your new journey, part of your new life that you do. And find what's making you happy today. Don't try to focus on what made you happy in the past. Leave the past in the past, like she said. Bring new things into your life. Find out what's going to make you happy now. Find out what's going to make you feel safe now. Not from the past, but now. And just try to become what you are doing on a daily basis. And what she meant by that was, because I even had to question her, what do you mean become what they're doing every day? She said, well, they have to try to really engage yourself with what you're doing on a daily basis to be able to find out if you're something that you do like. She said they might try like I did. She said I tried out a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't like, but I just kept doing different things until I did the things that I liked. And those were the ones that I started incorporating in my routines, or just when I wanted to go out and have a good time, I would go out and do them. So I think what she meant by that, and I'm sure this is what she meant because I did question her on that, is that not everything that you're going to try once you're healing or once you're in recovery is going to be for you, because not everything is for everyone. You know, we're all each our own person, and what makes me happy or makes you happy or feel safe is going to be totally different. So, it's just like she was saying, for you to try just different things. And just keep trying them. Don't limit yourself on this new journey. And whatever makes you happy, just do it. Don't wait for someone to give you that validation or someone to tell you, yeah, go try it. Do it. If you're telling yourself, or your gut is telling you to go try something, or you feel as though you just want to do it, just go do it. Life is at your terms right now. It's always been. But when we go through these traumas and these mental illnesses and we go through these addictions, we don't see that life is still at our terms because our minds and our nervous system is going so fast, But it's okay because I understand it and you're not alone. But now that you are healing, if you're listening to me and you are in the healing process or you are in the recovery process, life is at your terms. And life is going to become now what you want it to become. And it's really important that you stay honest with yourself. You stay in tune with what you want to do, how you feel. Follow those feelings, follow those emotions. Don't try to live life or do things because someone else is doing them or it's going to make someone else happy. This is your turn. This is your time to get life the way you want it to be. See life the way you want to see it. Do what you want to do every day. And do it when you want to do it. And it's just so important that we really listen to ourselves. And I think a lot of us, we kind of ignore that or we push it off on how we really feel or what we really want. And I think that, if you are in the healing process or in the recovery process, it's important that you do that. It's important that you talk to yourself. It's the best conversation that you're going to have because it's going to be the realest conversation you're going to ever have. Is being honest with yourself and questioning yourself on what are you doing? What do you want to do? What do you want to see out of life now that you're in this process of becoming this better person, becoming the person that you want to be? And follow those answers. Follow your gut feeling. Follow what your heart is telling you. Complete it. Just follow it and do it. And it doesn't have to be all overnight. Every day, just put a little bit of what you want or what you know that you need to get this recovery and this healing done in a healthy way. Put it in your daily routines little by little every day. But stay consistent. And I know that like I said, a lot of us in the beginning of our healing, in the beginning of our recovery, we're lost. We feel lonely. We feel like we're still in a little cloud because we're not understanding these new changes. Or we're scared to really accept the new changes. And I get it. But it's so important for you to understand that healing and recovery is going to bring a lot of changes. And a lot of that pain that you had before or that dependency that you had before is no longer going to be a part of you. You're going to start to fade away from that. And I know that that's going to be hard for a lot of people because they're so used to being in this pain or they're so used to depending on others that when it starts fading away and they no longer have to live that life, it feels wrong. It feels like that's not who they are because they're so used to being this other person. But if there's anything that you take from this sharing today, I want you to take with you that, no, you are this new person that you're becoming. You no longer need to chase that pain. You no longer need to chase that dependency from others. You no longer have to hide. This new you, these new feelings that you're feeling, these new emotions, this new way of seeing life on a daily basis, embrace it and accept it. And every day to yourself, validate yourself on what you want to do every day. You don't need that from anyone, and I'll say that over and over because I say this all the time. You don't need no one to love you. You don't need no one to validate life for you. You need to validate your life yourself because you're the one who's living your life. No one can live it for you. So every day, a little bit of validation, a little bit of figuring out who you want to be and who are you trying to be. You're getting closer to that better person or that person that you always been wanting to be. Now you're on that journey. You're going to become this person. And yeah, and I know it's not going to happen overnight, and I get it. And I know some of us like to see things happen like right there and then, but life doesn't happen overnight for us. So healing from a trauma or an addiction is not going to happen overnight. But if that's something that we really, really want, and we follow our journey the way it's being planned out for us, we're getting the help. We reached out for the help. Now we have a plan together, and I'm putting this plan into my routine every day, and I'm following my plan, and I'm staying consistent. Yes, I'm going to become that person I want to be. I'm going to find out who is it that I want to be, and I'm going to follow it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to become my best me, because I'm staying consistent, and this is something that I want. And life is going to be what I want it to be, and that's how I want you to see it. That life is what you make it out to be, regardless of your situation. Life will always be at your terms. Life will always be what you make it out to be, because no one, and I mean it, I'm going to say it again, no one can live life for you, and no one can change the life for you. You have to change life for yourself. And when I say for ourselves, we have to change it in a better way. And that's why when things happen, we change life in a we're the ones that sabotage ourselves all the time. We're our worst enemy all the time. When we let ourselves go into these traumas and we take ourselves down, we're that same person when we're getting out. You're the only person that can pull yourself out and follow the routine that you need to do to follow your journey and become that person that you want to be. Because no one can change life for you but yourself. You can get help, and you can get support, and we can, people can put the plan together for you and walk on your journey, but you have to do it. Everything, all the pieces of this puzzle of your new life and finding out who you want to be after survival can be put together for you, for professionals, by support, by family, by loved ones. Yes, that's true. But the one that has to do the work and stay consistent and want this and have it done and really do it for ourselves and show it for ourselves is us, is you. It can be put together. They can't do it for you. You have to do this. You have to want this. You have to show up for yourself. And the most important thing is love yourself. And I always say that as long as you're loving yourself at the core, and you're accepting yourself, and you're going to accept these changes, and you really want to heal, and you really want to recover, you're going to do it. You're going to put all these pieces that they have put out for you to get to where you want to get to in your journey, and you're going to close it up, and you're going to put it together. And you're not going to depend on anyone to tell you what you have to do on a daily basis. You're not going to depend on anyone to validate your life for you. And you're definitely not going to depend on anyone to love you, because the most important thing in life is for us to really ask ourselves and be honest with ourselves on what we want out of life. And until you're not able, and if you're able to say what you want out of life, then you're ready to heal healthy. You're ready to recover healthy. If you still don't know what you want out of life, you're depending on others to do it for you, you have to pull all that power back into your own self and make this happen for yourself, because no one else is going to do it. You have to really be honest with yourself. And if it's help that you still need and you haven't started this healing journey or this recovery journey, but you need to, and you know you need to, but you don't know how to do it, or you don't know where to start, please get on my website and give us a call, or text us, or email us, whatever it takes. Or if maybe you don't want to reach out to us, that's fine. I just want you to get the help that you need. Please find a way to get your help, because you need to make that first step to start healing. You need to make that first step to start recovering, because they're not going to bring it to you. And you might have the biggest support out there, but if you don't want to do it, and if you're not ready to do it, it's not going to happen. You might start for others, you might start things for others, try things for others, but you're in a doubting mode because you're not ready to heal or recover. So you're going to sabotage yourself. You have to really want this for yourself. You have to be ready for yourself. And you have to do this for yourself, no one else. If that's where you are right now, you're listening to me, I'm telling you right now, reach out and get the help that you need because you're ready. And this is the way that you're going to heal in a healthy way. This is the way you're going to heal you're going to recover in a healthy way because you're ready. And you're not doing this for no one else but yourself. You're ready to figure out who you are without the pain, without the triggers. And you're going to learn to live life after survival. You did a good job because you're still here. But now it's time. You did so good at survival. You did so good protecting yourself after this trauma. So now it's to put all that strength into you and start healing healthy and start recovering in a healthy way. You can do it. You definitely can do it. It's never too late for anyone to reach out for help, whether it's for mental illness or an addiction. It's never too late. Just like it's never too early to start. If you know that these things are happening, or you're spiraling, or you're getting into a dark tunnel like I call it, it's never too early to pull yourself out and get the help that you need. And there's always people out there that'll help you start out if you don't know how to do this. Just talk to someone. I'm sure there's someone in your circle that loves you and will start this journey with you. You just got to open up and let them know what's going on. And with that being said, I just want to say, if you're listening to today's share, but, this is not something that's going on with you, it's just you wanted to find out a little bit more about mental illness or an addiction, I just want to tell you that it's real. And if for some reason you're listening to me, it's for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. There's nothing in life that we go through for not being a purpose or a reason. Everything has its reason and purpose in life. So if you're listening to me, because I know a lot of people say, I don't have to, mental illness, I never dealt with it. I don't know the one that deals with that. I don't know the one that suffers from mental illness or an addiction. Well, I'm here and I'm sorry to really be so raw about this and be honest. You don't know who's dealing with mental illness, and you would never know who's going through an addiction. They cover that up so good. It could be your best friend and you'll never know unless they tell you or you bring it up. It could be a brother, it could be a sister, it could be a child. It could be your parents. It could be anyone. We just never know. Because they learn how to cover up this trauma. They learn how to cover up illnesses really good. They learn how to cover up addictions really good. So, I think it's really important for people to know, never say never. Because you just never know what life really has in store for you. And unfortunately, that's just life. And we have to really, really listen to ourselves and really pay attention to our loved ones, really pay attention to the people around us, and really get to know them and find out whether it's is this really them today? Am I seeing something different in them? Just because they're laughing and they're smiling and they're really up and really energized and overactive, they're okay. We really have to listen and really look and really. I always say it's really sometimes we have to stand back and really, really figure our loved ones out. And not just our loved ones, our friends, people that you call your friends. Are they acting different today? And don't just brush it off. If they are acting different, question it. Don't brush it off. Question it. They're probably waiting for you to question them. They'll never tell you. Most of the time, they'll never say it. Until they hit rock bottom or until they have a breakdown. But if you see red flags in someone that you care about or someone that you are around, ask them. Reach out to them. Don't wait for them to tell you what's going on or for them to hit rock bottom or have a breakdown. For you to really get in conversation with them about what's going on with them. And if you're listening to me and this is something that, you're dealing with, whether it's what I'm sharing today or mental illness or an addiction, I'm here to tell you that you are worthy of becoming this better person. You are worthy of changing. Changing is possible. Anyone can reset themselves to who they want to become. It's never too late to recover from an addiction, and it's never too late to get healing for a mental illness, for a trauma that we're dealing with. There's help out there. You have to reach out. You have to be honest. You have to open up and accept these changes in your life. You have to accept that you have to be honest, and you have to really reach out. No one's going to come to you with the help. So if you want to make the change, reach out to someone and get the help that you need. Talk to someone. But you're definitely important. You matter. For those of you that know me, know that I'm really big on the mental illness cause. I'm really big on the addiction cause. I support these beautiful souls 200%. I started my organization, You're Not Alone, because of a personal family reason. I, struggled with this many years with a loved one. They're doing amazing in life right now, and I'm so proud of them. I couldn't be a prouder parent. But because of, the struggles, because it was hard. It was hard. I just wanted to make a change for others. I definitely hope that I can make a change for parents that went through what I went through. I'm hoping to be able to reach out to individuals that are dealing with mental illness or an addiction through my sharing of my podcast or my organization or my social media or the community. That's where I'm here for. I'm here to help. Because I know that mental illness is real. And it's a very, very lonely feeling. And it's a feeling that will take you under real quick. Same thing with addiction, that is real. And the triggers and the fading that they want to do from life just wraps them up and takes them down real quick. So these things that are going on with our beautiful souls are real things. And that's why I'm here, because I'm here to let them know that I'm showing up for them every time I turn this podcast on. I'm showing up for them. Every day I'm pushing my business, pushing my organization, trying to help them. I just need them to show up for themselves and reach out and get the help. Because we're going to meet you anywhere you are in your journey. We're going to meet you there. And if I can't help you, if my team can't help you, I'm going to find you the help that you need. That's for sure, and I promise you that. I won't stop until I get you the help that you need. And with that being said, because every day, every second of the day, we're losing a beautiful soul to mental illness. Every day we're losing a beautiful soul to an addiction. And it's scary. And it's heartbreaking. To me, it's heartbreaking. It really is. Because I know that I'm not going to be able to help everyone. Just facts. Even though that my services and my tools and resources and my professional free services are free and they're accessible worldwide, it's still not enough. And it would never be enough. Because these numbers are just so large. This need is big. I don't care what country you're at right now. I don't care where you're sitting at on the map. That location where you're sitting at, you can look at the numbers for mental illness, suicide, addiction, overdose, coma. And those numbers will never go down right now. They're as high as ever. Everywhere. I don't care where you live at. Suburb, city, I don't care where you at. The numbers are big. And the age. These illnesses and these addictions have no age limit. I've seen kids at the age of 10 and 11 addicted to something because they're over-medicating themselves because they're probably being bullied, and they learn to fade away from this bullying from medicating themselves, put them into a mental illness and addiction at the same time. Our beautiful souls in school right now, they haven't even started their life. But that's how life is right now. This is the world that we're living in right now, and it's sad. Because if I can just wrap my hands around every last soul right now that's dealing with a mental illness or an addiction, I would do it. But the truth is, and the reality is that I can't. And it's not because of my business, it's not because of my team, it's because the numbers are so large. I can't reach everyone. There's no way. But if you're out there, and I don't care where you're at on the map, if you're out there and your heart is where mine's at, and that's supporting mental illness and addiction, and you're real at it, this is what you breathe and eat like me. Reach out to me. Let's make this happen. Let's make this movement stronger. Let's get this information where you're at on the map. Let's get these tools and resources in your community. Let's do this. Let's stop the bullying in schools where kids are just medicating themselves and hurting themselves every day because they're being bullied. Let's try to cut down the numbers on suicide. These beautiful young kids in school, just suicide, just killing themselves, taking themselves out because they're going into depression because they wanted to be like someone else and they couldn't be that person. Let's stop all that. Let's cut these numbers down. Let's get the help. Let's give them the help that they need. Let's get these resources out there. So these parents have this information, they can get their children the help that they need with no barriers, with no limits. Not just, like I said, there is no age. We have adults. We have people that be our grandparents right now. They're addicted to something, or they're going through some kind of mental illness because of the trauma they've been dealing with all their life. But they just never knew how to get the help. They've never had the support. The age don't matter. If you need help, I want to give it to you. And if I can't help you on your journey, I'm going to find the person that's going to give you that help. But I need you to reach out. Get on my website. Do what it takes. Reach out to us. And if you're out there and you want to help, same thing. Reach out to me. Find a way to get a hold of me. Go on my website, www.you'renotalone.online. You'll find a way to get a hold of me on there. Everything is for free. We have the 24/7 hotline. We have 24/7 email. We have a 24/7 chat box, which is not monitored by an AI. It's monitored by a human being, 24/7. So please get on there. You can get a hold of us. Let us know where we can meet you at on your journey, or maybe you're a caregiver. Maybe it's something that you need some more information to go. You're dealing with something with your child like I was for many years. Reach out to us. I'm gonna give you the information, and I'm gonna be your support, because this is what my organization. The reason why my organization was put together was to help those parents to deal with what I went through for many years, and to deal and help these individuals that are dealing with this. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm showing up for. I'm showing up for you. If you are a licensed therapist, if you are a licensed counselor, if you're a licensed social services worker, or you just want to be an advocate, reach out to me. Let's make this happen. Let's save that next beautiful soul together. If you have information that you think you can share with us, that someone else is going to be able to benefit from, it's going to help them the same way it helped you, or maybe it helped someone that you know, send it my way. Get on my website, get my email address, and send it my way. It's not going to go to waste. If you think maybe your community needs these services, these tools and these resources, and you want to make an event where you live at, you want to bring your community together and understand what's going on, what's out there for them, reach out to me. We'll make this happen in your community also. I just want everyone to know it's not about me. And it's not about you. The individuals, the professionals out there, the licensed therapists, counselors, the advocates, the individuals that have the same organization, businesses like I have. It's not about us. It's not. You know, it's about them. It's about you, the individual that's suffering with the mental illness, the individual that's suffering with this addiction on a daily basis. It's about you, because you're the one that I'm here for. You're the one I want to help. And I always say to everyone, you know, like, let's just get on board and help it. You know, help each other make this stronger. Like, let's get on board and really make this happen. Make a change in this world. You know, stop thinking about, oh, well, I had the same business as her. I'm not going to go out there and try to help her. How about my business? I want my business to be bigger than hers. That's kiddie stuff. You must have not been in business too long. Because if your mind still thinks like that you're still in competition, you know, instead of helping these beautiful souls, you're in competition worrying about what you can make out of it, or if you push my information out, that's not going to help your business, or you want your business to be bigger than mine, that means you're an amateur at business. That means you must have just started making your money, but that's what you're trying to do, because I ain't trying to make no money off of this. All my services are free. So see, the difference about me is I've been doing business for over 15 years. There is no competition, because I don't need to compete with no one. Because I don't want nothing out of this but to help the people that need my help. That's what I'm here for. This is what this podcast is about. That's what my organization is about. I'm not here about getting clout. I'm not here about trying to get followers on my podcast. I'm not here trying to get followers on my social media. All that, those are the least of my worries. That's not what I'm here for. Because if you look at my social media and my businesses, you'll see that I've been out there for longer than 15 years. If you Google me, you'll see. I just never really was the type of person that really wanted to do these lives or really be pushing stuff in this way. But because this hit home for me, this is real. And this is what I'm giving my all to right now. I want to make sure that I get this information out to everyone that needs it. Fast as I can do it, and as broad as I can get it done. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, which is a live, you know, my podcast, or whatever you want to call them. This is why I'm showing up every day for them. It's not about what they can put in my pocket, because I'm not asking them for nothing. I'm not asking you for nothing. It's not about what I can do with my name or my business name. Because it's not about Jeannie Perez, and it's not about you're not alone. It's about them. So if you feel the same way and you don't have that mentality of a newbie where they're always in competition, you reach out to me. Let's make this happen. And I guarantee you, you're not going to regret it. Let's make this happen. Let's make this movement strong. Let's stop that next person from taking their life, or hoping to just give them the support where they'll be able to pull them out of that mentality, you know, all that fog they're in right now because they don't think they're worth it. Let's help that next person from having an overdose or going into a coma. Give them the support that they need and realize, yes, they are worthy, and it's never too late to get help. And with that being said, I mean, that's really all I really want to share with today. I'm just hoping that every time I go live and I do a podcast, or I put anything out on my social media, or out on the radio, because we are on FM here. You know, we're on Amazon, Audible, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio. You know, you think about it, just go on the platform, I guarantee you I'm on it. Or just Google me. You'll find me. You know, the reason why I'm doing all this is for you. Because I want to make this easy for you. I don't want no barriers where you can't find a way to get a hold of someone to help you. You know, I even did it where everything is free. Because I want to make sure anyone that wants to get healed, they get it done with no problem. Anyone that wants to go into recovery, makes it happen for them with no barriers. So again, like I said, hopefully this is helping someone. If it is, share your feedback with us. If there's something else that you want to hear about, or you would like us to share with you, please reach out, give us some feedback. Just share with us. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what's out there. Maybe we haven't heard of it or haven't seen it and not been able to share it with our community or with you. Bring it aboard. Bring it to my attention. You know, if you know me, you know. Knowledge is power. And everything anyone shares with me, it never goes to waste. I always use it. I always use it to help others. Always. And sometimes I use it to even help myself with knowledge. Because I'm big on that. So today I'm just going to close my my sharing, my talk today with, you know, my statement that I hope that really others live by like I do. You know, I had to tell myself this for years. It's okay to not be okay. And please really, really listen to that. You know, whether it's just for yourself or a family or with you and your loved one. And this is just, you know, you're going in a spiral and you're dealing with this situation. It's okay that you're not okay or that yous are not okay. It's okay. But what's not okay is to think either for yourself or together as a family or for your loved ones to ever think that you have to struggle in the dark, in silence, ever. I am here for you. I'm sure there's someone in your circle that's there for you. There's services out there for you. You don't have to do this alone. Please just reach out for the help and get the help that you need. Start healing or start that recovery that's waiting for you. Again, thank you for everyone that's been supporting me, everyone that's been listening to me. I'm seeing all that feedback on iHeartRadio. Thank you. I love you, and you know who you are. Thank you so much for all that amazing feedback I'm getting on iHeartRadio. I want to say thank you. And for everyone else that's listening to me, thank you for supporting me, supporting this cause, because it's not about me. It's pushing this cause and making it stronger. Thank you. And until then, please take care of yourself and your loved ones.